and welcome to another episode of the Cabanga Show!
This week on the Cabanga Show, tough consequences as Brett Murray leaves North Korea.
The unwanted Chile, Josh Cavison, says goodbye to the national team.
Cameroon, brave or stupid, resorting to AI.
Plus, we have all the managerial controversy.
And all of the great gameplay.
And of course, all the goals.
Did you say all the goals?
All the goals. It's live on the
Cabanga Show!
Hello and thank you YouTube viewers for joining us again on the Cabanga Show. My name is Buster Douglas.
I'm Jeremiah Francis. Welcome to episode 5 of the VVGT World Cup Cabanga Show. There's plenty to get through here today, so what better way than to kick it off with
News headlines of the week! Wow, I like the intro title. There we go. Well, unfortunately, more outages than Western Power gets in a whole month. We've got North Korea. Brett Murray has to leave and look after stuff in Spain. Spain in the real World Cup, not looking too good. He has to look after the townspeople there.
Yeah, look, the president of North Korea wasn't too happy with Brett Murray's decision to leave the country. Here's what he had to say.
영적 조선인민군 장병들에게 영광이시다.
Ooh, harsh words there by the young Asian stud.
Yeah, I would not want to be in Brett Murray's shoes.
Not at all.
Group E in current turmoil now as Chile manager, Chile in more controversy as Josh Cavison has to leave as well to go to the USA.
Look, I mean, you know, if we remember back to day one when Tanya Mizzi come in, a lot of folk out there said, hey, she should be in the kitchen. So they got rid of her, got in the bloke, and the bloke's fucked off back to America. Now it's bloody outrageous.
Bloody outrageous. Maybe he should be in the kitchen.
Don't be silly, mate.
Oh, silly man. But yes, it's throwing Group E into turmoil. Now they've only got 2 human competitors, and they're looking like they're not going to go through. So we tried to speak with VVG head honchos there, and unfortunately we could not get a comment. Let's see that footage right there.
La Constitución y las leyes.
Sí, juro.
Ooh, tough crowd. We're trying to get an answer out of them. Unfortunately, they're not giving us anything yet. But as soon as we get the news update,
sorry, mate. No, that's someone else.
No.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry. But as soon as we do get that information, we'll pass it straight on to you and we'll know what's going on because Group E is up for grabs now. We don't know what way it's going to happen, who's going to go through. It should prove to be interesting, at the least.
Yeah, look, Bird, whispered in my ear at the beginning of the tournament and said E stands for excitement, and this group certainly living up to that Bird's whisper in my ear.
That's a smart bird.
Let's move right along.
Another person out, third for the week. John Pasqua, Cameroon coach. Came in late, no one knew who he was. We didn't even have a picture of him.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Bloody unbelievable. Unorganised as well.
And he unfortunately had to pull out, which, to the glee of France manager, who had that stumble at the start and looked like they weren't going through, they're happy and they had a match against Cameroon and so did South Korea later on, which moves us on to the matches.
Yep, it's time. It's game time.
Cabanga! Popular beat there. Thank you to Honduras manager Lee Perry for making us that little beat there.
Yeah, shame we can't turn up for a game.
Okay, let's... Okay. Group F. Portugal versus Algeria. Have fun editing that, John. Huge match.
Yeah, look, brilliant match. Portugal coming off an emphatic opening round victory. Coming up against an Algerian team, that if they want to go far, they're going to have to look at competing against teams like Portugal. We'll let the footage do the talking on that one. It's over to you, Mr. Video Man.
today will be an interesting one for the boys, but nothing short of 3 points. Look, he's a great person, but on the football pitch, I don't know if he looks quite at home. Maybe better suited for a netball pitch, I don't know, where the girls play.
That's all for now. I've seen John out and about, seen him trying to impress the ladies, sure he's good at that. Seen him ride a bicycle, he's not bad, but when it comes to playing that Algeria, he's poor. Well, even if I don't beat him in the game, I'll beat him in the funky base-off.
Manager Tim Raisin did win the funky base-off in the car park afterwards. However, first up it was Portugal versus Algeria. Portugal looking dangerous after their first huge win. However, this time spurning some early opportunities. Algeria, however, weren't able to even make opportunities. And it didn't take long before Deco rated the goal with his sublime finishing. And after the first, it wasn't long before there was a second. Leedson having some lead fun. Second half gave a chance for the teams to regroup, but it was more of the same for Portugal. Still banging in the goals. Raul scoring his first of the competition. That's a bit surprising. However, this led the way for the dumbest goal of the competition. Algeria defender not megging his own keeper and letting Portugal just walk it in. Hilarious. This was where they lost their composure, doing some off-the-ball fouling. Rumours say that Portugal were saying some bad things about one of the Algerian players' dead wives, and it just led to more and more fouling, and they totally lost their anger. However, Portugal took full advantage, banging in the goals for fun afterwards. End score, Portugal 6, Algeria 0.
Look, 6 points, 6 goals. I really cannot ask for more from the Portuguese boys. Yes, you know, it's probably still a weakened team. Very happy with the team at the moment. We got players like Cristiano Ronaldo, who are sleeping giants really. Not really doing much in the games at the moment, but in the latter stages, I'm sure they'll come into play.
So, hiya fans. I happen to know the owner of the video game console was eating a pizza before the match, so there was an excess of tandoori oil and grease on the buttons, so really it was out of my control whether or not I turned in a good performance, and as it happened didn't because of Italian delicacies.
Whew. Very, very enthusiastic performance from Portugal there, and that's 2 games against 2 humans, 6-0 both times. You can't say they're not consistent.
Yeah, look, definitely. I mean, I don't actually know the Portuguese coach personally at all. But you know what? I'd love to sit down and have a roast beef dinner with the man, because it looks like he knows what he's doing behind those controllers.
He does, and he has to be one of the favourites for the Golden Boot and the competition at the moment, and he's looking like a dangerous force, and anyone going through the knockouts will not be wanting to come up against him.
Very interesting stuff. We'll just quickly look at Group F for those wondering at home.
Well, Portugal dominating that group. But what it's made really, they've got only a match left against the AI, but what it's made it really interesting is it's really up for grabs, that second spot against Serbia and Algeria. And if you look here, we've highlighted that as Portugal are officially through. Whether they'll get top spot or second spot, probably top, but they're definitely through. They're safe as houses.